Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Feel the rap or open it up.
Exactly, listen to Seany. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So, jump into that and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Go ahead, jump in the back, boy. Go ahead, everybody. Hop on the bus. It's Mile High Bandwagon. Shady Sports Fantasy Reports, and I'm your bus driver, Cedric Green. I got my my co-pilot, Justin, with me tonight.
He still hasn't dropped me off yet. I'm still on the bus.
He missed the stop. He was asleep, so told him
I was watching Bo Nix highlights.
Hey, there was quite a bit tonight. You know, I mean, hey, Bo Nix is second behind Jaden Daniels in rushing for first downs.
Dang.
Something like that. So one of those stats. Either way. How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us again. Another great night of Shady Sports Fantasy Reports. As I said, I'm your bus driver, Cedric Green. We got the co-pilot, Justin. Just another great episode, man. It was a pretty, I'd say a pretty, well, for me, it was an exciting day because my Broncos won, but there was quite a bit of bye weeks. So I feel like it was a pretty, there weren't that many heavy hitter games, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that's right, Justin?
Yeah, I think it was just in the noon games. It was like the Bengals and the Ravens was probably the one that stood out the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, honestly, I watched the Minnesota Green Bay, Minnesota New York game. And you know, man, like Aaron Rodgers came to life between like I'd say mid second quarter all the way to through like mid fourth quarter, right? Until he threw that interception.
Yeah, that was a bad throw.
Game. Yeah, there were some weird throws, man, but he was putting it on the money. I'd say definitely in the third quarter on that comeback. But no, yeah, tonight I want to talk about that Broncos game. You know, I want to start with that. So we'll get into that. And then after that, I wanted to move over to want to touch on the Ravens and Cincinnati game too.
Okay.
I know your Lions aren't playing tonight, so
yeah, they just watched the entire division win.
I know. How does that feel, man? Like you see,
oh, more pressure. We gotta be perfect. We can't make any mistakes.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, Minnesota didn't look.
No, they looked very, very vulnerable.
Yeah, Sam Darnold had like 175 yards, one touchdown.
Yeah, Jefferson wasn't happy because he wasn't getting as many targets and catches as he thought he would.
Well, they were locking him down, man.
Yep.
He was getting locked down. Talking about lockdowns, like I said, we're going to talk about this Broncos and Raiders game. Talk about lockdowns. PS2, man. Let's see. What if an IDP? Well, I don't. Yeah, he had to have gone off today. I actually have him on my team. Let me go and see what he scored. I didn't play him though. I didn't.
What?
I didn't see this coming.
You mentioned these Broncos players.
I played. I don't know. I had Jesse Bates playing. I've been kind of switching between him and Jesse Bates.
Well, I think after this game, I think PS2 has earned a starting role.
It's hard, man. It's hard to say that because a lot of times the quarterbacks won't even throw it to him, quite honestly. And I think because of the fact tonight that Riley Moss was on, that, you know, shout out to the backfield. They were on too, you know, like, man, the linebackers, the whole defense was just playing really, really great after that 100-yard interception. Well, I guess leading up to it because they set it up right, but I thought it looked a little, you know, it looked a little slow to get started as usual. But I felt like that's how it's been with this Broncos team. I know backstage you had mentioned like you felt like every one of their games it's been kind of a little different, a little slower start.
Yeah, the one consistency has been their defense, though. Like their offense has like found different ways to win those 3 games, but their defense has got the same formula. It's just rush the quarterback and pick them off when they make mistakes and just make it harder for them to get first downs. because you can't score touchdowns if you're not getting first downs first, and they're really keeping the yardages allowed down this year. It's very impressive.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed too is because I felt like I'd have to go back and check the exact stats. I don't know the exact numbers, but I felt like they did blitz a lot more in the past. Especially in the Tampa Bay game. They sent a lot of I felt like they sent a lot of extra defenders in. And then in the Jets game, you saw a couple people coming in. They have 1 or 2 people. Yeah, man. I mean, they got to the quarterback with 4 people today. They didn't have to send many blitzes. And still, like the defense. Thanks Terrell for shout. Thanks for watching. I think if I'm correct, the defense overall, I think they had like 16 points.
Yeah, that's why I picked him in my team of the week. Start him up as your defense because Raiders are going to Raider. They're an easy offense to pick on. They didn't really have any threats or any like players that that the defense was worried about. I mean, Madison's a running back too for a reason. Minshew had his tight end, which was Bowers, and outside of that, there wasn't many passing threats, and it just makes it easy for the Broncos defense to hone in on rushing the passer and making them try to beat him on the ground. So to answer your question, Terrell, I think that defense is legit until proven otherwise. I mean, Patrick Surtain is like holding it back in the backfield, and the front 4 are getting to the quarterback, and those linebackers are containing their spots and not letting players get extra yards after catches or runs. It's just keeping everything in front of them, and they're holding teams to, I think, sub 20 points. I don't think any team has scored over 30 on them.
Aaron Rodgers didn't even get a touchdown last week.
Yeah, he's a scrub, doesn't he? He looks like washed.
Oh man, Singleton's gonna have surgery in his ACL, so I don't know if he'll be back. Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing is, positive is they have Singleton out, so they'd only get better with him coming back in.
Yeah. You're saying he's done for the year?
Probably. It looks like he's going into surgery, so yeah, they're not gonna wait till the end of the season.
Well, hey, they're doing great without him. Not to say they don't want him around, but like it's good when your defense responds positively to a missing piece.
Yeah, man, those guys have been stepping up. I know I picked up Cody Barton and who else did I pick up off the Zebra Uncles?
Did you start them though? It sounded like the 2 that you have, you benched.
No, this was in my dynasty though.
Okay.
So I started. Bench Surtain. He got 25 points. He got 25 points, which I could have used. I'm playing Shawnee too, man.
He's never let you forget that.
Yeah, me and Shawnee are playing close. 197.36 for me to his 213.72, and I still got Noah. I think Noah Gray's gonna go off, man, and Rico Dowdle, but he has defensive players, so he has Alontae Taylor, and and then Eric Kendrick. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I should have had Pat Surtain in. I could have used those. Well, he got 25 points. I mean, I got 29 points from Jesse Bates. So I actually got.
No, you're fine then.
Yeah. So that was the thing, like with Surtain, like even with having him, a lot of time quarterbacks don't throw to him. But I did have Zach Allen, who went off.
Oh, yeah, that's a good play.
Mm-hmm. And then Cody Barton, who I just feel highly in after Singleton went down. I don't know, man. That defense, Terrell, to answer your question, that defense, obviously
no bias, just 100%
right?
You believe in what you see. No,
I don't even know who that team is, man. I'm telling you, I go for them all night and day. No.
But I think that Broncos defense, though, said it's really giving Bo Nix confidence. So if he does make a mistake or he does go 3 and out, he knows that he didn't really fail that team that much because their defense will give him another opportunity to come back on the field and redeem themselves. That goes a long way with the young quarterback. If your defense can hold it down, give your offense a chance by making a comeback or keeping the momentum going and keeping it forward, it really helps the mindset of a new rookie quarterback in that situation, really manage and control the game, not be too much of a hero, but at the same time, not being too conservative and more of a game manager. Just that perfect blend of being able to make plays when they need to be made and then really to control themselves from not turning the ball over.
Well, they were saying, on the announcement that they need to just go ahead and turn them loose, just like they have, how Jay is, just let them play. They played a lot.
I
of
do
college.
like too the connection or somewhat connection here with this Troy Franklin Bo Nix thing. I know they missed on a big play, but
they missed on that touchdown. That was a big one. I think that was
but
more.
I think that's
the
start of good things to come. The more they get comfortable with each other,
yep.
I think those two are going to be big play threats.
Yeah, because I think that was just I think that was a case of Troy Franklin not really truly thinking he was getting the ball.
Yeah,
once
you could see when he looked up, oh, snap.
Yeah, you saw him speed up a little bit. So yeah, I think once it's realized, hey, bro, just stay in it, you'll get it.
Yeah,
you'll get it, and then he'll just, he'll.
I think he was too much into his route and what he was supposed to do, and by the time the ball is coming his way, he's like, "Oh, hands, damn it!"
Yeah, right. So we got some stuff. We'll get back to this Broncos game. We did get some stuff from this game tonight. I want to touch on because Quincy's question, I guess it pertains to.
What's up, Dom? I don't like this delay. They're just gonna have us stay up late.
I know. So he still has a chance to take out Fields and trade him out for Mahomes. I'm gonna say no.
Oh, hot take.
I'm just out on Mahomes right now until he.
All right.
Yeah.
I would probably, with this weather, I probably would go Mahomes over Fields because it leads to fumbling, tripping, slipping, high risk for injury.
But he uses his speed a lot. Fields runs a lot, man.
I know, but if this field is under a couple inches of water and he's not able to get his feet underneath him, I mean, there's always potential to have production, but the factor of the weather really impacts it enough for me to, even despite Mahomes' shortcomings, I would probably stay away from Fields tonight.
Yeah. Well, let me go change my lineup really quick.
Unless they blow dry the field real fast and it's just real nice and grassy, but
if
they even play tonight, I don't know. This delay is gonna keep me up late. I gotta work tomorrow. This is nuts.
I was gonna say, how can you even change out Fields if you have them in? I can't even take them out.
You can't?
No.
Oh, because on they lock the players in at their projected start time. So at 7 or whatever when this game was supposed to start, it's locked, which is bogus.
Yeah, so I can't even take Fields out.
Yeah,
which sucks because I really need those points.
Yeah,
in order to. Well, I guess I don't necessarily need them. I got work.
Believe me, I was talking about it today, and I was like, it'd be a really cool feature. It's 2024, man. We're not playing fantasy football back in the early 2000s. What is wrong with the feature of where your players get hurt during the game, and you can swap your bench out with your players that get hurt in your starting lineup?
Yeah. Well, they do have the auto sub feature.
That's before the game when the game is announced that game time decision, he's out. Then the app switches it for you. But my champion today getting knocked out in the first half. It would have been nice to pivot to a Tyrone Tracy or a Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
But it's here
who would you pivot to though?
Well, that's what I said. Tyrone Tracy, Jaleel McLaughlin. Maybe.
What do you mean from this game though?
Oh, from this game?
Yeah,
if
pivot.
Your pivots could be, I don't know, be pretty
tomorrow
nasty,
night, I guess. The Kansas City game. Who are you gonna pick up? P Ryan? I got P Ryan playing for
probably P Ryan, whatever his name is.
I think Kareem Hunt is hurt.
Yeah. If you want to risk it, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think he's 6. That's not going to happen. Maybe Jamal Williams. I don't know because aren't Kamara's ribs hurt?
Yeah. Backups have been going off.
Dude, I don't want to see that London dude. Oh my god, I got bit by the London bullet, dude. I played against London.
I kept him in. Finally, he went off for me. 33.
Yeah, I had B-Rob though. That was nice, dude. That's Houdini knows how to set it. He had a great week. Look at this.
Chase, Burrow, London, Mooney, Cook, B-Rob, McBride.
You might have to have a pivot for Kareem because he's hurt. But although having Auburn, I don't know, kicking in this weather tonight, I don't know how that's going to go. But the fact that you got 200 points in counting, I'm pretty sure you're probably winning in that matchup. So cheers to you.
Cheers to you. Yeah, I got almost 200 points
And see what he has in his lineup set. That's why I like the stack. He's got the Chase Burrow stack, and that's nearly 80 points.
Well, yeah, with Chase and Burrow for sure. Yeah, if you stack Chase and Burrow, but if you're stacking like, well,
hey, if you stack
Lawrence and Thompson, right?
Brian Robinson Jr.
or Brian Robinson or Brian, yeah, what Brian Thomas, whatever his name is. If you're stacking him and Trevor Lawrence, today was the only day that you got something out of it. You know what I mean?
But hey, even if he would have stacked London and Kirk Cousins, that would have been a good one for Kirk. Threw over 500 yards.
That's probably one that's just as good, if not better.
Yeah. You had London and Mooney. That is a brave lineup too, right there. Starting two of the players on the same team, the same position. Man, you deserve that 200 points. Like to have the shards to do that. That's impressive.
Yeah, all it takes is a couple of drops early for the quarterbacks to look the other way the rest of the game.
Holy shit, he's up 100.
He's up 100 points.
It's like that Kylo Ren meme where it's more.
Unfortunately, I can't sub any. Well, yeah. Well, how's Kareem? Oh, because Monday night, I guess you don't have any.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Bring in. Oh, he has Denver D as well too.
Dang! Talk about that defense. Said preach it.
Oh, that Denver D man.
Are you picking up the Denver D to start the rest of the season?
I am definitely no. Oof. Okay, that's a different story to start the rest of the season.
But Bus Driver said I have the Vikings defense and they're going on a bye next week. Do I start the Broncos D?
Yeah, definitely. Well, who are the Broncos playing next week?
Probably some scrubs.
Every team they play is a scrub. Seems like.
I don't know who they're playing next week.
Seems like it once they play that defense, right? No, we're playing the Chargers, so.
Oh, snap. Fire them up against it. The Chargers.
The only problem. Well, the only thing is their rushing attack, though.
No, that's fine.
Broncos are, I think we're like 9 or 10, and
what they keep the rushing? They got to keep it under 200 yards today. They didn't rush.
No, we're tops in the league in rushing yards allowed. We've definitely held it
afraid of those Chargers.
He's gonna drop Gibson.
Do it. Yeah. This was his moment to have his opportunity. He got the starting job, and he botched it. Ramondre came in after the first drive and did his thing.
Yeah, we got J.J. McVay. He got a trade offer. He got offered a trade. He wants to give up Jonathan Taylor, A.J. Brown, and Puka to get Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. No. I mean, no.
Wait a moment, Wait a moment.
No, and I'm going to say no because
you're not doing it?
Listen, no, not at all. I'm keeping Jonathan Taylor because when he comes back, he's a beast. AJ Brown should be back next week. Puka's coming back next week as well.
Week 7 is the earliest he could come back.
Well, he'll still be back. Breece Hall, what did Breece Hall get yesterday? How many points did Breece Hall get?
Well, earlier today, he just wasn't much involved in the offense because the Vikings really limited the rushing opportunities, which forced Rodgers to throw the ball more.
Today, he had 3.8 points last week too. Come on now.
Yes. Breece Hall isn't really involved in the offense, so he's a very good trade buy low candidate to trade for while he's having these down weeks. You could probably get him on the team.
You're going to trade away a solid running back in Jonathan Taylor. You're going to trade away a solid receiver and two solid possession. Well, I guess Puka's more.
Here's the key, though. You could be in Ced's position with a few wins underneath your belt so far this season, and you're doing great, so you probably don't need this trade because you're pretty sitting well with your team. If you're like someone like me, on the other hand, who's sitting at 1-4, 0-5, and you got these homies sitting on your lineup catching you L's because they're hurt, you got 3 people that you're getting that are at least healthy playing and can contribute to your lineup. So depending on the context of where you are at with your teams in the season, I can see you making this deal for the short term to get you that W so you're out of the goose egg, or you're just getting your team back on point, because who's to say even when they do come back, are they fully 100%? Are they raring to go and produce like they did before the injury?
I'd like to see how the rest of the team looks too, though, because I guess I see, Kenneth Walker's beast comes.
Yes.
He came back.
If Jonathan Taylor is my workhorse in my roster, my running backs, I would definitely trade him for the 2 that I'm getting back in that trade.
I mean,
But
Yeah, I
Puka
guess.
and AJ Brown, I think, is a little too sweaty for me just for Mike Evans. Yes, Mike Evans is he was on my team of the week.
See,
And he
I'm
did
with
great.
Houdini. If it were earlier, I traded away AJ Brown probably 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
I don't know.
Personally, I would still do the deal if I'm in a situation where I need to get a win now. Now, if your team is sitting, if your team is sitting, 2-3 wins already, I'd probably hold off on that deal and just wait until your guys come back healthy and try to manage your lineup with waivers and trades elsewhere. But like, if you need a man, some of us said we're out here, we're starving for W's. We need the W's.
I'm saying, like, you're gonna have a W when those guys come back, though. Like, it's still early.
But at that point, are you still not catching W's and you're like sitting at 0-7, 0-6, or 1-5?
I feel like with
1-6?
this though, you're like chasing W's though. I mean, Brees Hall. He's not a guarantee to get points. I don't trust Brees.
By name value alone, I would hold on to the trade. But based off where your teams are at and where these players are at right now, I could see this trade working out. Depending on, like you said, I need to see the rest of the team and your standings and everything and how that whole context rolls out. But just looking at it from optics, just from what we see now, I lean on the side of I want to win now, so I would do the trade because Kenneth Walker's a beast. They're feeding him in Seattle. Brees Hall is going to be like this the whole season. They're going to find a way to unlock him.
Ooh.
What?
Houdini's in like a 3-person league or something.
He nailed the draft is what I'm saying. Looking at right here, like he looked at all these other league mates like, bro, and he's just picking up all the cream of the crop.
I don't know.
He's got a trade too?
He said offer Tyreek for Cook. No, I'd keep Cook. I don't know. That Bills offense is weird, man.
That Bills offense is very Jekyll and Hyde. And here's the thing with this trade offer too. The Miami's offense is really Jekyling right now. They are really hiding or whatever. They're really until Tyreek can get his quarterback, Tua getting back about week 8 or 9, if he comes back. I mean, rest of season value, it's hard for me to say give up Tyreek Hill for James Cook, but we've seen it with Cook this year. He's bursted. He's boomed. He's had multi-touchdowns. He's had a lot of yardage and been a feature in that offense. So I think I would personally, just looking at the trade, and I don't like where this Miami's offense is going if they don't have Tua back. I think Tyreek is really capped in what he can do and how he can perform. I would take the deal. But if I were to see more of the context of the standings, the roster build, where you're at with everything, and unless if you're hurting at that position, I would probably not do the deal. It's the Volt. Yes, exactly. With Josh Allen, he's the prime candidate number 1 of being a target of the vulture. Like, when they get in that red zone, you have literally at best a 50-50 chance Cook's getting in the end zone because Josh Allen can scramble and run for it and play hero ball. The way that James Cook cooks is between the 50-yard line and the end zone. But those big runs, those long gains, those catches over the middle, and like turning the yards after catch into touchdowns if you can. But I see that more happening with Cook's rest of season if Tyreek Hill's quarterback situation doesn't get better. If it does get better, then I'm more apt to want to hold Tyreek Hill if Tua comes back. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And his bench is, look at this guy. Holy crap.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, I'll be right back. Give me one moment.
That's fine. You want to hit an ad or something?
Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Here.
I was like, might as well throw up the promos.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Thanks for rocking with us, and we appreciate all the comments and engagement. We love it. Keep it going. And as always,
I like Houdini's team.
Houdini's team is freaking stacked.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you like those
Yo, my bad.
that break, that pause, that video.
Yeah, I know Houdini's team is freaking stacked. I don't think any trade you can do
But
is going to
with
hurt
your
you, man.
roster, though, you have so much depth that I would pull the trigger on that trade.
Yeah,
Like,
because.
Yeah, I like that bench. I like that depth you have, and that you're putting up 200 points without Tyreek Hill. I mean, probably he's at 10 to 20 points of it each week, but you're putting up that point production without basically Tyreek Hill for now. I mean, yeah, for sure. Do it. I mean, because you could, with your team, you can literally afford some wiggle room and some, drop off if it were to happen. And I don't know who are the Dolphins playing next week and who are the Bills playing next week?
Oh wait, aren't the Dolphins in the Thursday night game? Hold
on. No? Because that would mean they'd have 2 Thursday night games already this year.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I was reading Tom.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull it up. I can pull it up right now. The Dolphins next week. Oh, they got a win today, though.
Oh, well, yeah, they played the Patriots.
They played they have a bye week next week.
Oh, even well, I guess the bright side of that is you won't even have Tyreek Hill for next week.
Yeah, so you won't have to worry about if you're
going to. You wouldn't feel too much buyer or seller's remorse if you were to trade him because the person you're trading him to won't be able to use him next week anyhow.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter in that sense. If you look at it like that. But I mean, I don't know.
His is a wild situation where if you have that kind of depth on your bench to play around with and work with, I mean, trades like that more often than that, you look at the situations for both players and which one you believe in more, and then you pull the trigger on it. And for me, I think rest of season with the quarterback situation the Dolphins have, Cook could outperform Tyreek Hill by far, by a lot, but just at a consistent rate until the Dolphins get a quarterback back.
Yep.
Because we've learned this year that Tyreek Hill is not quarterback proof.
Well, not that he's not quarterback proof, but just more so drops him down to that wide receiver.
Yeah.
For sure, more so that wide receiver 3 or flex territory than a starter territory. But yeah, he's definitely not Jeff's. Well, he doesn't have the
quarterback. Hope we dropping
like
Mostert now with the Devon Achane going out with concussion.
He's gonna drop Mostert.
You're only 3-2, man. This league must be like the Titans, like the heavy hitters, the best of the best. If you're 3-2 with that lineup. But yeah, definitely hold on to Mostert with the news that we got today with Achane. I don't know. Well, they got a bye week, so he'll have extra week to recover.
Dang, is the game still delayed?
No, it says kickoff is in 10 minutes, so it should start around 8:40 or 9:45.
Cool. Yeah. Dang, hold on.
My week high was 137 before this week. Oh my goodness. I wish I could score that many points.
137?
I think I've broken 100 points once this year.
Hey, how many players are on your team?
It's a 12-team league.
But how many positions do you have?
We got quarterback, 2 running backs, and wide receivers and flex is another 4. So we start 9 because we got a kicker and a defense.
Oh.
But it's that damn injury bug, man.
Yeah.
Every week it's teabagging me, dude.
I guess I feel you. I'm like just barely at 100. But hopefully I go over it. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this game tonight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Shawnee's gonna join us, but I mean, we'll see on Tuesday.
Is everything okay, or?
yeah, he's Just had some scheduling issues.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But he said, let's see. He was talking about Nico Collins and all his receivers that have gotten hurt. But yeah, it's been crazy.
Hey, welcome in my misery.
Right, it's been a lot. Here, we got some more. Man, these comments are rolling in.
I love it, guys. Keep them coming.
I love it. So we got the business credit or the business.
Here
circuit.
we go. No, the business circuit.
Yeah, eight man. He has Kyler, King Henry, Mason, who didn't do a lot. Mason and Debo didn't do anything today. Marvin, I don't think he did a lot today. I don't think he did anything today.
I didn't really follow that Niners-Cardinals game.
The Cardinals, I mean, I know Murray kind of went off. McBride he went off for tight end wise, but I don't know how Connor did. But he has he has like all kinds.
So if you're gonna break up that Cardinals stack of
everyone and get rid of all of them, no.
I would definitely, I don't know if you can anymore because they're starting to catch fire offensively, is try to go after Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson. One of those. Well, yeah, I don't know if you're necessarily going for stacks, but after looking at these weeks, it's going to be hard to obtain some of these players that are having down weeks before to start the season. Like now with Garrett Wilson's big game, I don't know if you could get him off of somebody.
Well, he has Worthy too. I feel like Worthy's definitely going to go up in value.
Yeah.
So he has a pretty solid.
I'm just trying to give him some people that I would be trading for. Like I don't think you can either with Kyron Williams. He had another big game. Josh Jacobs had a big game too, so he'd probably be harder to obtain after this week. But you definitely have pieces that you could throw in for maybe a 2-for-1 for any of those guys. But I would definitely target those because I see them having a little bit more consistency rest of the season than this Cardinals offense has been really funky this year. Like I haven't seen like the super big games from the Cardinals players that I thought going into the season would be the case.
Yeah, I feel like Kyler Murray. I rock with Kyler all night.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good because he's had that rushing ability, and that rushing ability can really make up for a lot of the flaws in that offense. So that's why I would target somebody above, a tier up, like a Jacobs, or if you could, maybe because he was hurt this week and he still hurts, check in with the Mixon owner, see if you can get him for a low price because he's hurt.
I'd probably try to package like Debo and maybe Puka. And
I think he's specifically talking about his Cardinals players.
Oh, just in general Cardinals players. So
he's trying to lean off of that Cardinals stack, which is fine. I would just definitely tier up if you can with a combination of any of those players like Connor and McBride or Marv and Kyler. I would try to get like I said, I don't know if you can after the games they've had of Jacobs and Garrett Wilson or Jamar Chase. I don't know if that's a possibility. You could also go for possibly Michael Pittman.
Tucker Kraft. Go pick up Tucker Kraft. He should be available.
That might be with the tight end landscape. I think tight ends are going to be really held close to the vest by other teams, and they're not going to be as willing to part with their
but it's an 8-man league. There should be plenty of tight ends. Let me see. I have an 8-man league. Let me see what tight ends are available.
Those are just some of the players off the top of my head that I know that you could possibly attain with the Cardinals players, like maybe a Michael Pittman too, or a Brian Thomas Jr. and a Trevor Lawrence, but they also had big games. So, but that offense has proven to be as inconsistent as the Cardinals. Maybe flopping for Brock Purdy Ayuk combo, but I think those guys had a good game too.
Yeah. What's up?
The business circuit. That'd be if it's a redraft league, I say go for it. The Marvin and Connor for Nico. But if it's a dynasty league, I think I'd probably hold on to Marvin over Nico.
What? In a
dynasty, but like in redraft, honestly, I would go because I don't know how serious the Nico injury is right now at this moment.
It's a hamstring.
But for the value there, I mean, hopefully you gotta hope that Nico's injury isn't that serious and he'll come back and be that stud he's been the first 4 weeks.
But even if he doesn't, I mean, he has Worthy on his bench. He's still
like you're sitting pretty. You're like, to go off of what says you're really able to take that risk by trying to make these trades out here because you have a solid enough bench and the players that you have to work with.
I'd hold on to McBride for sure.
Hey,
I'd hold on
I
to
wouldn't
Connor.
worry about his tight end situation because if he has Komet on the bench and Komet had a pretty solid game too today.
He's hit or miss though. I definitely keep McBride over Komet. I don't know. That's me personally.
Yeah, I would start McBride too over him, but like the depth he has at tight end is pretty all right. That I wouldn't be making any moves solely to upgrade his tight end situation because he's got a pretty good stack.
I just feel like all around his whole team, I wouldn't even mess with the team. I would just kind of play around.
But but like sometimes gotta make moves and spice it up. So if Nico is what gets it done and takes it, I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah, and I guess that's true too. Come full.
It's like how we were saying before the season even started. Your league isn't won by the draft, the team you drafted. Got to make some moves if you have to switch things up. Keep your team on point.
Yeah.
What was that last one he saw? I didn't see that last comment.
Oh, he said maybe try to get CD.
Ooh, well, we'll see what kind of game if he has tonight. If he has a kind of a slouchy game, well, maybe you can get him for that price of a Connor and a Marvin. Yeah. I definitely put out offers for the Nico owner with that, and seeing how the CD game goes tonight. Maybe put in that offer before the game even starts.
Right?
Yeah.
That way if he's doing bad,
ways.
Yeah. They'd want to get rid of him if he's doing bad even more.
Man, he's got Keaton. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This guy's freaking everybody in this league. He has everybody on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you have the luxury to do that if you absolutely need to. Who do you need? Like if
I'd trade Laporta. And that's me saying that over McBride. I just feel like McBride's just more of
if you're trying to sell both of them, you gotta upgrade and tier up into that. But with the tight end landscape right now, I don't know how much higher you can get because Laporta and McBride going into the season was top 4 tight ends, 2 of the top 4 tight ends in the league. So I mean, I would hold until they have the big games and then try to sell higher than for something in a different position because those guys are at the top tier of their position. It's not working right now. And it's nothing against what you're doing for team comp and whatnot. It's not happening right now for whatever reason. So my best advice would be just hold right now. Yeah, and I agree, Houdini. Nico is going to have a discounted value right now, so getting him...
Which is funny because he's like the number 1 receiver in the league until...
that whole Houston offense right now, you could probably get on a discount, like Dalton Schultz, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, Nico,
Schultz,
DJ Stroud even, like...
What's it? Schultz is a headache.
Yes, that is true. He had himself an okay game today. Yeah. I mean, the tight end landscape in a lot of leagues right now is just really, really barren. Like everyone's starved for those big games, and they haven't really gotten them for that position. So everyone's more, for the most part, tentatively holding until they see it. They're not willing to sell their tight ends so much or buy any because it's just been so inconsistent and not fruitful at that position so far this year. I know if I was doing it, I would lean on the side of holding my tight ends right now than selling or buying because these first 5 weeks haven't really shown the true value of these players yet. It's just kind of been weird.
Especially if you got 2 good tight ends, right?
Yeah. If you got 2, I would just write them out because you never know when that blasted injury bug comes creeping along and is like, hee, gotcha.
Yeah. Then you're like, damn. I should have held those guys.
Then you're like me.
So, I mean, I'm holding on to him as well.
Trying
to find a good setup.
No, that's all good. I like moving around. Keeps like a defense. You never know where I'm lining up.
Oh, look at her over in the corner.
Look at PS2 over here in the corner. Right in the sideline.
Hey, following number 1 every game. He's only had probably 5 catches against him all season or something like that.
Yeah, he's really giving himself the argument for being the number 1 corner in the league. I don't know. After today, Sauce Gardner with all those penalties and just
see, I mean, I feel like Pat Surtain had his penalties a couple games ago.
Yeah, but
and then in the Tampa Bay game, he had quite a bit, but no, he hasn't had any.
So, what do you think is gonna? I know somebody in the Facebook group posted up. What was our expectations for the game tonight? Yeah,
so I thought it was gonna be. I mean, I just feel like Justin Fields has been going off lately, man. I just got a lot of faith in him. I felt like
even with the weather tonight, you think he can pull it out too, get you a dub over Seany?
Yeah, I feel like weather's not the biggest of deal, especially.
Oh man, if you beat him,
they practice in that stuff. There's so many stories of players talking about how like they would just soak the balls before the games and just
Dude, I know that business. I know your feeling. I drafted Pacheco, and today I rolled out in a league. I rolled out Brian Robinson Jr. and Tyrone Tracy as my running backs. So it's not pretty, but
hey, Tyrone Tracy didn't do too bad though. I feel like
he was definitely one of my surprise hits on the waiver wire.
You got like 30 points between the two of them. So,
Business got a question for you, said.
Yeah, he was saying one of his league mates has Pacheco injured, so should he
do it? Smash that button. I'd do it.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Do it right now before the game even starts.
Do it right now. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's probably gonna
have my full endorsement. You hit that trade button. You just sit there in that chair, wait for that accept to come back.
He's probably gonna come back and ask you for. Hold on.
That is true too, because Lamar did have one of his better games of the year so far.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be like, "Give me Henry."
but Kyler didn't have that bad of a game though.
No, Kyler went off today too.
So it might balance itself out. I mean, 3 for 2s. I always like trying those, package deals to see if you can try to move the needle, because a lot about trading too and trading etiquette is talking communication with the person you're trading with. Just throwing out offers and not really explaining or giving context to why you're putting that offer out or why you're either turning down a trade or why you're open to it really helps trades go along and cultivate and happen in leagues. Is you got to communicate and talk with the person you're trading with, because we don't know what you're thinking if you just throw me a Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. for a Lamar trade. Like, okay, where'd that come from? Why? What? I like Lamar. He had a big game. I'm not going to do that. But if you throw in a little like context of like, hey, Kyler had a good game, and I really think that, Marvin Harrison Jr. will benefit with him long-term rest of season. And I was really interested in the idea of possibly obtaining Lamar if I could at this point. Like,
yeah,
as far as trading goes, you're more likely to get deals done if you communicate it out, be open and honest and transparent of your intentions of why you're doing trade. Because no one likes snakes. No one likes those people who are just trying to like catch them like with just bad. Like, I don't know what's that. What do you like when you see like someone just throw trade offers at you and they're just really like one-sided and you're like, okay.
Well, if it was a crappy trade, if it was a good trade, I'm like, all right, I'll look at it. But if it's just like if he'd said like, Kyler and let me look at the rest of his team. I don't even know. Like you said, like Kyler and
thanks, Houdini. We appreciate you joining in and catching up with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Right? Yeah, like if we said like Kyler and like Singletary and like Tank
well, you know what I mean. Those kind of trades where it's like and then you're like,
like that.
You're just gonna throw this at me. You're not gonna give me any context. Like, what do you expect me to do? Say yes to this?
I guess it depends on the league you're in too.
Yeah,
if you're in a league with people then yeah. But if you're just in a league like a strict league, I mean, hey, it may.
Well, even in sleeper leagues, like I'm in leagues with new people, but like all my trades, I'm at least giving them like a full story, but at least little briefs. It's not like, here, this is what I'm offering you, this is why I'm doing it, and see if this could come to a deal. I'm willing to negotiate or take counters. Just let me know how you're feeling and what you're thinking about it.
So, we got Justin Fields right now, son.
Oh, what does he do? What?
Here we
go.
Did
he trip? Did he tie his shoes?
Touchdown. Nah.
Really?
But he did just run for a first down.
He did? Oh, so I didn't have the game on, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so I think he's still going to do pretty decent. I don't even see the weather. Is it still raining? I don't see.
Well, it looks nice on the field.
I'm looking at my phone, so I can't even see it. It looks really nice in the field. I don't see no weather. Yeah, they're dry. He's running over his players and everything. Oh, it's 8-yard run. But still, I think there's gonna be you're gonna see some high scores from like Justin Fields, from CeeDee Lamb. You're gonna see some. I feel like you're gonna be impressed by Ezekiel tonight, but I don't know about that. That's my hot take.
Well, I don't know if it's like we'll see after the end of the night. We'll see. We'll see where the dust settles and how it all goes down, where it all goes.
Yeah,
but
so
definitely, if you guys are going after CD, do it before this game gets too far into it. Take advantage, because I think the Steelers defense will do if you have Brandon Aubrey, he's already got 3 points at least.
Field goal already. So let's see today's.
Oh, bro.
Let's see. For week 5.
What are you looking up?
The top scores from today.
Yeah. It's got to be Burrow and Chase and Lamar and Henry and
quarterbacks were Burrow at 40 points, 40.8. Kirk Cousins with
I know. I benched him for Jordan Love this week. That was fun.
Who, Burrow?
Yeah, I played Jordan Love.
Why?
Well, those divisional games, man, they're usually tough and gritty, and they don't really
all those
have
50 points from last week, and you're like, dang, he got 100 points in some leagues for sure.
Well, hey, I had him last week, and I was like, cool, way to go. Thought it was going to happen again.
Nah, man. You cannot count Slim Shady out when he's on. Even though they lost. They almost won.
Yeah.
They just went up against, It was when an unmovable object meets an unstoppable
force.
Yeah. So they were rolling.
If the holder doesn't fumble the snap, I think the Bengals make that kick, and it's the other way around. So
they make that kick, and then the Ravens still get to go down, and they get a chance with the field goal, right? They still get a chance to score.
Yeah.
Still like another outcome. They take it down, and who knows? Well, they probably maybe not take it down the same way because it'd be a kickoff. So who knows how it would have gone down.
If you're looking at the Bengals organization after this loss, like, are you looking at Zach Taylor like you on the hot seat? Like, is he potentially in a fireable position, or what do you think?
No, because last season they were plagued by injuries. This offseason they were plagued with the contract dispute, which they still had going on. They had the dispute with T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins looked good coming back in.
Yeah. Right? I think they'll hold on to Zach Taylor too. That organization tends to be a little bit more frugal and just like cheap, so they'll hold on to him, get every penny and dollar out of him, and then let him go at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who are they going to get? What are they going to do? Get the next
that Dolphins Pats game. That was one for the It was so many fantasy points going around. At this point, business, I think I'm in the same boat. How worse can it get? You gave him 5 weeks to sit and rest and figure it out. Throw him in there next week. I don't know who they're playing, but
it's kind of weird though, right? Like, you kind of look at it and you look at these other teams that started their rookies already, right?
Well, I think in the case of the Patriots, though, they knew probably going into it that they weren't going to have a stellar season or compete with the top of the division. They're looking at evaluating their talent and where their coaching scheme is going to be with the new coach, a new system. Yeah. And they didn't really know if we should pull the trigger right away to go after and just throw Drake May to the Wolves and let him experience it by fire. But I think at this point, with how the season has gone, you lost to the Jets and you've lost to the Dolphins, 2 divisional opponents. Backs are kind of against the wall already. You're 0-2 in the division. Maybe give Brissett the first quarter, tops first half next week. And if it's not going in the right direction, throw Drake May in. You need to spark that offense. You need to do something, because right now it's very flat and it's not popping. It's just
it's almost like they don't care.
Well, I think they care. I think they're just they're being a little too conservative with that offense. I think they need to let things loose, let things fly, open up the playbook, and get Drake May in there. Let's just see how that works. I mean, it doesn't have to be a permanent situation. Like, get him in there, get some experience, get some play time in before, the crunch time at the end of the season rolls around. So he has that experience under his belt and he's not going in towards the end of the year, middle to the end of the year, raw and unproven.
Mm-hmm. Or even worse, you're going into the end of the year and you don't know what you have.
Exactly. And you guys know with the Broncos, you weathered it out the first few games of Bo Nix's flaws and his mistakes, and now you're starting to see the fruits come to grow.
I mean, literally. I mean, last week he had 85.
He was negative yards by halftime.
Yeah, so it was the second. It was the second lowest amount of passing yards in a win. The last one I think they said it was 1934 or something. Like that. It was forever ago. And the guy had 28 yards in the win.
So it's the Patriots aren't working with a 5-0 team right now, but they're not working with an 0-5 team. It's just you're kind of just need to, I think, switch things up. I think now is a good time to pull the trigger because you don't want to end up going into your bye week, rolling Brissett out, and then by that time coming out of the bye, you have Drake May, and he's doesn't have that confidence built up to it. He could have been accruing like how Bo Nix is doing with the Broncos, accruing it this early on in the season. So that way, if fortunes do turn, and they might have the opportunity for a wild card push to the playoffs, he's got that experience. He isn't
I guess
deer in the headlights.
It goes both ways too, though. I mean, he could turn out like Bryce Young too. So.
Yeah, and you got to play him to know. Otherwise, if you don't play him, it's just a bunch of what ifs and coulda, shoulda, wouldas.
Back to that Cincy.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
I agree.
So yeah, Damian came out, said Stefanski is more in the hot seats than the Bengals.
I would agree, Damian, and I would also add to that in the sense of he came out and said after that game, there's no quarterback change. They're sticking with Watson. It's
would Watson have 175 yards? Did he have any touchdowns?
And he had an interception, and I think he had one touchdown. But the fact of the matter is Watson isn't getting it done. He's not providing leadership or energy or some sort of positive thing you can take away from it going into the next game thinking you have a chance of winning. I think the team's morale is down. Their spirits are down. The defense is playing solid. They're just not getting that offensive play to help support them. They're on the field a lot of the time because their offense can't stay out there and put up points. So it's frustrating. And then when your head coach comes out at the end of the game after that today and be like, nope, we're sticking with them. It's just the Browns did this to themselves by signing that man to that sort of contract because now you're handcuffed. You're in a situation where you have to play him. You have to start him. Otherwise, you don't get your money's worth. And the irony in that whole situation is even when you do play him and start him, you're not getting your money's worth. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's just someone in that organization has to have the stones and be able to swallow their own ego and pride and be like, yeah, I messed up. This was a terrible deal. We're going to put out Winston and see if we can get a jolt of offense next week because we know he can at least throw for 400 yards, 3 interceptions, and multiple touchdowns. Whereas with Watson right now, all you're getting is maybe a couple hundred yards tops, a handful of rushing yards, and a touchdown. I mean, that's not going to cut it in the NFL. You need big playmakers, and Winston, at his point in his career, is willing to make those, gunslinging, seat of his pants throws. Where I think Watson is just not confident, not a leader, and he's just not someone that you should be having leading your offense or your fantasy teams. So if you have him on your roster, I don't know why, but now is a good time to bench him for someone like a Joe Flacco or somebody else because it's not looking good. He's not looking good. And it's not like they were playing lights out offense or defenses. I mean, they played the Commanders today, and that's a middle of the road defense at best. Last week, who did the Browns play?
They played the Raiders, and they lost.
Yeah, that isn't a lights-out defense either. So,
and no Max Crosby.
Watson should be, tearing it up on those defenses. But this comes down to Stefanski and this front office having a gross misuse of resources. They're kind of like the Atlanta Falcons were the week before. I mean, we saw them on Thursday light up the scoreboard and pull out a win, but like first 4 weeks were like, why couldn't Drake London be doing that? Why couldn't Bijan be more productive? Like, why isn't Kirk throwing that like that the first 4 weeks? So maybe this is a good sign for the Falcons that, hey, they're figuring out, let Kirk cook and throw the ball and get Bijan involved as much as they can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said Baker must be on the ball.
I bet Baker Mayfield checks the box scores after every game and just like smiling like, yeah.
Yeah.
I dodged a bullet. Even
Baker's
with Carolina too,
balling.
like, yeah, I dodged a bullet.
Oh, yeah, definitely with Carolina. Him and Sam Darnold. Baker's been balling. We got George. Mm-hmm. Hey, Damien, thank you guys for watching, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll be back Tuesday night at 6:30.
Here we go. Said more trade talk for you.
So
what's he got?
So someone offered him CMC and Olave for Mason and Jigba. What are your thoughts?
Do it.
He said his other running backs are Barkley and Gibbs. So he can afford.
If you can land CMC, I have the personal feeling that he's coming back by week 8 or week 9 at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is going to come back. I think Olave is going to start separating himself from that receiver room and start doing better. I think Mason's a short-term option, and it's been cool for the first few weeks. He's done his thing. But after today, he's starting to slow down. Fuel is getting low. Yeah. And with JSN, there's so many mouths to feed in that Seahawks offense. It's just flipping a coin of whose game is it going to be? When's it going to happen? Is it going to be JSN? Is it going to be Lockett? Is it going to be Fant? Is it going to be Walker? Is it going to be Metcalf? Is Geno going to have a good game? So there's a lot more question marks and a lot more variance for risk on the JSN Mason side. CMC, you just need to hope he gets back sooner than later. I'm guessing probably around week 8 or 9. Or even comes back at all. And even when you do, I mean, if this is a dynasty league, I would smash this trade even because Olave is still young and CMC's got at least 2 years left on that contract. So, and the thing is, if it doesn't work with CMC, you still have Barkley and Gibbs as your other running backs. You're not fully invested in just hoping that CMC works. You got that insurance for your running backs in case CMC doesn't come back at all or he doesn't come back as soon enough. And then you're getting another good piece in their wide receiver room with Olave. He's a lot more comfortable and a lot more steady floor as a wide receiver than JSN. So I say take the deal. Said, what about you?
I think, yeah. I mean, I feel pretty good with that too. You make a good point. Especially with the fact that he does have Barkley and Gibbs as his other running backs. He doesn't really need CMC right now. But when he comes back, it'll be great to have CMC and Barkley to go together, right? And
I mean, I won't look pretty comfortable as an opponent if I see him rolling out Gibbs, Barkley, and CMC, and I'm like,
yeah, it's like
this could be 100 points right here,
right? Yeah, exactly. And then have it be a week when Olave goes off. So, because that makes him for A-Chain. I don't know, like maybe if
I would do the first deal. I would see if you were offered that deal, I would take it instead of holding off and doing this because with the injury to A-Chan, Mostert had a good day with A-Chan out of the lineup, so not really looking good there. And the Dolphins are going into their bye week next week, so you're losing a week out on A-Chan. So if you can get that first deal done, if not, I would readdress this trade and probably still take it because the long-term value of A-Chan versus Mason in a redraft and dynasty league, I like A-Chan over Mason. So that's more of a preference thing, taking all things into account because Mason's got CMC coming back possibly at some point, and A-Chan's got that injury that he could come back with, but the other running backs were holding it down. Today, Mostert and Jalen Wright played respectively. So in short, see if you can get that first deal done. If that doesn't work out, then I would probably still go through with this second deal.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like somebody offered him that so you can get the first deal done.
Yeah.
But I mean, the second deal isn't as bad, but
we never know. Somebody can get cold feet. He's talking with us now, and then he goes back to the app, and then someone withdraws the offer, and he's like, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah, they're like, oh,
I've had that happen to
I
me
saw
where
them on
these
fantasy
nice
reports.
offers come up and I'm like, what? And then I get, distracted by life stuff and I come back to it and the offer's gone. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I was just, like, oh, okay, that's fine. Well,
yeah,
that's shame on me. I should have smashed the button when I saw it.
Yep. You got a tie game right now, 3-3.
Ooh, it's a kicker battle.
Yeah, I was gonna say kickers are leading in points right now, but Justin Fields is leading quarterbacks by 1 point.
Is Russell Wilson in pads on the sidelines?
Probably. He's probably on the field somewhere.
Eating a dangerous sandwich?
Let's ride.
Hey, Bo Nix saying that after tonight, like Broncos country, let's ride.
Bo Nix, man, he had over 200 yards, I think.
Did you see his swag he was rolling into the game with tonight?
Yeah, that Elway jersey.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, Bo Nix went off for 23 points, 206 yards, 2 tutties, and a rushing tutty too.
Dang.
Can't stop us. Can't stop us. I think his stats were actually better than Jaden Daniels.
The Chargers are about to F around and find out next week.
They're about to find out because they're about to let Bo Nix loose. I'm telling you. Chargers gonna Charger. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, they're gonna try to run the ball like they're doing every week, and they're gonna find out real fast that they can't run against the Broncos, and then they're gonna try to throw it, and they're gonna realize, oh, there's a PS2 in the backfield. You can't do that.
Riley Moss.
Yeah. So,
and no matter what side you throw to, we got you covered, man.
Good luck with that, Harbaugh. You got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, he better slap those pads as hard as he can.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But yeah, no, I feel really confident going forward with the Broncos, especially in that defense.
Wow, this is like a different set from the beginning of the year.
I know, it's crazy.
It was looking bleak. The sun was looking real low.
So it feels like they finally locked in, and we're starting to see the way it's supposed to look. And we're kind of seeing that across the league. I mean, you're seeing Jaden Daniels lock himself in as MVP candidate, and Rookie of the Year candidate. You're seeing, even Caleb Williams, he's going off. Let me see what Caleb Williams did.
He had a respectable game. He had a couple tutties and good yards. He's making smarter decisions. He was looking less panicked in the pocket. And, I don't like talking highly about Bears or Bears players, but I'll give him his due. And he did all right. He, got in a win. He dominated. He did things as a rookie quarterback you should do. When you're playing teams, you should put away. You dominate. You take care of business. You don't turn the ball over. And good things happen. 29. And you build your confidence up from there. Next week, you can do even better than this. It's just, you got to have a starting point. You can't build a house right away. You got to start brick by brick. So,
dang, DeAndre Swift had 27.
Yeah, and they were running the ball more. They're incorporating the run game, which is forcing the Panthers to respect the run, which took some more pressure off of Caleb Williams. They weren't all eyes on him. The defense has to respect the running game now if they're going to get DeAndre into the offense. And for fantasy values, that sucks because a lot of people bench Swift, a lot of people traded Swift away, and now he's,
now trying to get him back.
In your side for doing that.
I know. Let me see if I can get him.
Damian, I don't know if McVay's on the hot seat necessarily because he can play the card of having a lot of injuries on the offensive line and his receivers and a young defense.
Plus he had part two of, hey, I didn't retire this after last season. I came back.
No, I think he's a victim of circumstance right now. He's got very limited options with all the injuries, but you won't hear him making those excuses. But playing an angry Packers team at home, they're going to come in swinging after that upset loss that they had against the Vikings. It just, once his team gets healthy, let's see it from there. This continues to trend that way where it's not going that well and they're losing games and they're healthy again, then I think it's a conversation maybe for, McVay and that team. But right now, I think the injuries play a factor. It's not a good situation. I mean, when Stafford is trying to lead a comeback and his best option is Tutu Atwell at wide receiver, kind of handicaps your offense. You can't rely on Kyron Williams running the ball 25, 30 times every game and expect him to win.
But luckily,
the defense needs to start bending and not breaking. They need to stop giving up those big plays, and they need to start shutting down the run game on the opposing team because the other teams are playing against are able to bleed points and bleed out the clock by being able to run the ball, and they can't stop them on third down. So that doesn't look good either. As much as McVay's got to do a better job coaching that offense and getting that offense up and rolling, that defense needs to do its job and hold itself like how the Broncos defense is doing for Bo Nix and that offense is stopping offenses, slowing them down, getting 3 and out so the offense can get back on the field and operate and do their thing. Thank you.
Yeah. No, but seriously though, and I mean, I think the Rams defense isn't too bad. They're still holding.
They're just really young. They're just they lost Aaron Donald, probably the best defensive player in the league. So
yeah,
that's a big hole to fill.
Mm-hmm. So and
they're in a tough division with the Seahawks looking good. The Cardinals are doing all right. The 49ers are the 49ers as far as we know. So I
don't know. I think Sean McVay has a bit of he still has a little bit of a long leash. He just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think for right now he's fine. But like I said, once the injuries are subsided, they come back healthy, and it's still looking like this, then it may be a conversation.
But it won't. That's the thing, though, and we know that. Like, it won't look like this when they, like they're.
Well, let's hope so. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Stranger things have happened.
That's true. Oh,
it's like they say, any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Yeah, man. Let's see. This game's looking pretty boring.
Well, there's already the ball on the ground. It looks like
a fumble. Who just fumbled?
Probably Fields.
No. Was it Fields? No.
I don't know.
Oh, it was Fields.
Got him.
Yeah. No, he didn't fumble.
Oh, here comes Russell. Russell's putting on the helmet.
Is he?
No. I just like messing with this,
Oh, Fields did fumble.
Oh, look at that. Whoop. Told you, man. The field, the ball's wet. Things can happen.
No, he just wasn't paying attention, bro.
Unless if they're my stud superstar players, it's really hard for me to feel comfortable starting players in inclement weather games because wild things happen.
I don't know. I just feel like Fields has been on a ramp.
And right now it's a kicker battle. Like, my goodness.
Because the weather.
Yeah, like you got to turn those field goals into touchdowns if the field was better.
Yeah, but see, my only thing with Fields is like, who's he throwing it to? Like, yeah, Pickens is good, but then outside of that, it's Van Jefferson.
And I don't think after this game, too, the Raiders are trading Devontae Adams to anybody in the conference. He's not going to the Broncos. Like, he's not going to anyone in the AFC. He's going to
whoever gives them the most.
I don't think the Raiders will do that. I think they'll be bitter and be like, nah, you either going to an NFC team or you can just sit and mope on the bench or not play.
Well, I don't know. I think he's trying to go to the Jets. But I heard the Raiders made an – who was it? Shawnee said the Steelers made an offer.
Yeah, but I just don't see the Raiders doing that. I know the Raiders are going to Raider, but they're not that dumb to let him go to someone in the conference.
Yeah. We'll see. I think it's going to happen this week, though. I do think we're going to see something this week.
So he's a good trade for target. I mean, if he does get traded, he'll be in a better situation. So if you can, go after him while he's going through what he's got going through right now.
Right? Yeah, he is definitely a good target. Because either way, even if he comes back, he's still going to be number one.
Oof. Damian, I'm sorry, man. I know I'm not a fan of Caleb much either, but I'm more on him than Fields, so that's a bummer. But how would you know? Fields had a 30 some odd point game last week.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty much been a better version of Caleb Williams. I mean,
yeah, I agree, Damian. I think he's either going to go to the Saints or possibly the Giants because they have a bunch of money and lining him up. It's kind of like the Cardinals situation.
The Giants don't need him, though. They got their receivers locked in, man.
If you're a GM, though, what's better to have with your rookie wide receiver than an old vet that's established as a mentor figure? I mean, you're going to have, Devontae for a couple of years?
No, especially not in New York, because all he's going to be doing is sitting there wishing he was over there with the Jets the whole time.
Probably
Complaining that he's not with the Jets, especially if he's there to be a mentor and stuff. And
fantasy-wise, it'd be nice to see him go to the Jets or go
to
go to these other teams. But like as a GM cap on, put the GM hat on.
He's not happy and with Gardner Minshew throwing.
He's a grumpy old man. I don't think he's going to be happy anywhere he is anymore unless
he has Aaron Rodgers throwing to him.
Yeah, but even so, if that happens,
or Derek Carr, so the Saints, I could see the Saints.
Because Garrett Wilson's going to be upset. He just had a big game, and you bring in Devontae Adams. It's like...
Yeah, because Garrett Wilson, imagine Devontae Adams on the other side of Garrett Wilson instead of Adam Lazard.
Well, that's what Mike Williams was supposed to be, but Mike Williams is a discount Devontae Adams that can't stay healthy.
Yeah, imagine Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and then Mike Williams in the slot. Well,
the thing with the Saints, though, is like they're in such cap hell. I don't know how they can make that work.
Because he's such a good guy. He'll let him wrap it around for a few years.
He'll bring his Taco Bell with
bonuses. Yeah, he'll have him install a Taco Bell in the locker room. So instead of him getting the money Taco Bell will pay him like double. So that'll be the money that the team doesn't have to pay him.
For sure.
And they'll pay for the team's food. So the team will just start eating Taco Bell every day.
I still think that the Broncos should just hand the Raiders a blank check and get Devontae to go up against with Cortland Sutton and Troy Franklin.
Yeah, but I don't know.
The Raiders won't do that.
Mims looked pretty good today too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. Is there anything else you have that you can think of?
I don't know what is left in the outline that we have here that we haven't touched on that we still need to go through.
We're going to talk. I mean, we really did talk about the Ravens-Cincy game. We're going to touch on that.
Yeah,
like we kind of did.
Derrick Henry did his thing. Lamar balled out. Of
course. Yeah, and I mean, Joe Burrow. So I guess we really touched on the Cincy side of it. Yeah, we're talking about that trade, but that was the other one. Was the Baltimore.
But I likely outplayed Mark Andrews again. So
and I benched likely like a fool.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was just like, he hasn't been doing anything, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna play him once every 4 weeks. That's it. I promise. Put likely in once every 4 weeks, and you'll have a good game from him, guys.
That model worked so far. He went off week 1, 2, 3, and 4 was nothing. He went off again, so you probably can play him again in week 8 or 9. So.
Yeah. So you put McBride back in or Ferguson or somebody, and then come week 9, you'll put likely back in and get another 15-point game from him.
Yeah, but I think the tail is starting to tell itself out, man. I think Mark Andrews is just going to be the blocking runner, just not fantasy relevant tight end out of the two.
Well, that's the thing, man. I don't know. Maybe their line's just not where it needs to be or something, but he's just not. Yeah,
it's not working.
It's not working when Mark Andrews is going out for the passes. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about Dalton Schultz too, man. I was just watching a lot. Like it just felt like Stroud wasn't looking at Schultz. He obviously had a few passes. He
not much for a Stephon Diggs revenge game either. Like
no, I think he only had like 3 receptions or something like that. I'll pull up and see what it says actually, but there were times I just felt like, CJ Stroud wasn't even looking his way. He would be, I mean, granted, he'd have a linebacker, probably like shadowing over the top slightly, but I don't know. I just felt like there was some quick short passes that you can tell, like when a quarterback is in tune with their tight end, they take those passes then when they're trying to get it down the field. And it seems like a lot of these teams are trying to get it down the field right now, and it's not working out in the favor of the tight ends. Now with the Raiders, Brock Bowers is their number 1 receiver. So of course he was lining up on the outside, the inside, and tight end, running back. He's lining up in the end zone, the backfield, wherever he could line up, he was there. And they were throwing, 20-yard passes to Brock Bowers. But he's like the only. Well, I mean, I take that back because who was it? Tucker Kraft, he had that 66-yard touchdown. So, I mean, I kind of felt that way because he had that, I think it was like a 35 or 40-yard touchdown last week too, right? It just feels like with Jordan Love coming back that he's looking for him. He's going to be that overtop guy when the outside, because everybody's looking at the receivers trying to cover in Green Bay. That's
so out of the two tight ends, who are you more comfortable starting week to week, Tucker Kraft or Isaiah Likely?
Oof. Oh gosh. That is like the hardest one right there. I think I probably would be, dang, man. I think I would probably roll out Tucker Kraft more because he is the number 1 tight end and he seems to have a rapport with Jordan Love, whereas Isaiah Likely seems like he's growing a rapport with Lamar, but also only because he has that over the top game. But Lamar's not always looking at him like that.
One.
And then they have so many weapons on the Ravens team. Well, they have so many weapons. I guess that's a tough one, man. I think either way, you're probably going to be disappointed more than you're going to be happy. But when they hit, they're going to hit really big.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I think you saw their ceiling today. You saw 2 touchdowns, sub 100 yards kind of games.
Yeah, because I feel like Tucker Kraft, he just kind of built off last week. And then I think this is kind of where it is. Now people have film on it. They have 2 weeks of film on that. So you're gonna see a lot of teams trying to, especially in that that NFC North division, you guys know about the tight ends. Like you prep and you practice, your defenses practice against these great tight ends that you have yourself. So I don't think that's necessarily gonna last. But at the same time, man, these young quarterbacks are just, gosh, it's like I don't remember a time where it felt like there was this many like legit solid quarterbacks at the same time, in the same age group and range, and like the way that they're like able to play because they're all mobile too. Normally we'd see a lot of pocket passers, the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's. And I guess Aaron Rodgers, actually, I feel like Aaron Rodgers, his class is when you start to see the evolution because he was a bit of a running quarterback, but he only ran like out of necessity, but he could run. Yeah. He could run. And that's what you're seeing from all of these newer quarterbacks is like they can run really well. They can run just as good as Lamar, but they only run like really, really rarely. Like Jordan Love not trying to take off every play. Jaden Daniel, they're not trying to take off every play because they can throw it too. Like they just
Daniels had another big pass today too.
Yeah. Well, Daniels played almost as much college football as Bo Nix. Everybody talks about, I guess probably like a year or two, like 2 years less, but still like college football, the way the game is
the ball's on the ground again.
Oh, Steelers got it.
Yep.
Who was it? Who fumbled?
Dak Prescott fumbled. I'm telling you that.
See, that's why I didn't have Dak in there as a must start, man. I am up and down on Dak too. Like I like Dak, and he like.
Yeah, I'm happy I switched him out with Purdy in my team of the week.
How'd Purdy do? I
think he did all right. It wasn't terrible, right? I didn't follow that.
I feel like San Francisco, there as a team, they just didn't do the best today. I didn't see what Purdy did.
They just take care of business. They get things done.
Yeah, they lost though.
Oh, the Cardinals.
Purdy had 15 points. He has 19 to 35, 244 yards for 2 interceptions, with 2 interceptions, 1 tutty. That's what I'm saying. Like their receivers didn't really go off. Yeah. Ayuk went off finally.
Oh, I was playing against Ayuk, so for sure that mofo went off.
He was the only one that went off because Debo had
you know who I played against in my one league set? I played against Drake London and Brandon Ayuk and Brock Bowers.
Oof. Yeah. Brock only had like that early touchdown, and that was really I guess he did have
enough to kill me.
Yeah, that is true. He did have a few. Yeah. Well, hey man, I don't know. Oh, George Kittle went off today too, actually. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
He had 28 points. So he finally had a good game. So I'd
also add too, said that with these tight ends that we're talking about here that are kind of showing out and starting to bloom a little bit, you got to keep an eye out for TJ Hawkinson. Maybe now would be a good time to trade for him. Use the good games of these lesser tight ends and try to be like, hey, I'll give you Tucker Kraft for TJ, or I'll give you Isaiah Likely for TJ or something.
You think he'd have an impact like that when he comes back, though, if it's still Sam Darnold?
Oh, certainly. Especially this Aaron Jones injury going down. Like the Vikings running game is in a precarious place until Aaron Jones comes back. So they're going to be throwing.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen much production out of those Vikings tight ends up to this point. I mean, Muntz had a couple big catches. Oliver had a couple touchdowns through the first 5 weeks, but TJ Hawkinson's a definite upgrade and a tier up from those two tight ends. And if you could get him on the cheap now, I would do it before he comes back, because the way Sam Darnold is playing in that offense, if you bring him into the picture, yeah, it'll probably take away from Addison and Jefferson and those other guys, but not enough to the point that it'll like kill their value. It just helps TJ Hawkinson when he gets back that he has a competent, effective quarterback throwing for him in that offense.
Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrows combined for 9 touchdowns today.
Jesus. Yeah, that was a wild game.
Yeah.
No. You know, on the Pollard side of it, I'm seeing Tajay Spears get more opportunities and more of a split.
Man, Pollard looks good in that.
He looks good. He looks good. But I also watched that game on Monday night, and Tajay Spears is getting a lot of opportunities too, and it was coming more of like a 50-50 split. Yeah. Higgins is kind of.
Higgins just went off today. I mean, don't let that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that trade, you're sending too much, especially with Hall. Hall's on the slot on the down. Like, I would just do maybe a Higgins for a Hall or a Pollard for a Hall right now, because I think whoever that Hall owner is, he's probably not having a good week and is desperate for production. And I think right now, up to this point, Pollard and Higgins, the value is outweighed by Hall. I mean, it's not anything against Hall. It's just that that offense isn't running through him right now.
Especially because the way Joe Burrows is playing, I would hold on to Higgins. I mean, Jamar Chase had almost.
I mean, at the beginning of the season, I would absolutely not do this trade on the Hall side of it. But like up to this point now, I wouldn't do this trade because of the Pollard Higgins side of it, because they're doing a lot better right now and held a little bit more value. Whereas because I watched every snap of that Vikings game, and Hall is just not the main piece of that offense.
Aaron Rodgers is. He has.
I'm a believer in the Jets offense. Like, I love my Garrett Wilson, I love my Breece Hall, but like for me, if I'm the Breece Hall owner, I would love to take this trade for having Pollard and Higgins short term, but long term, or if in a dynasty, I'm probably still going to hold Hall because the uncertainty of what Higgins' contract looks like, where Pollard ends up at the end of the year. But right now, in a vacuum, it looks.
I would try to pick up Ramondre if you could. Forget Hall. Pick up Ramondre. You could probably get him for super cheap for nothing, if anything. If anybody has him, you probably pick him up off waivers and stash him and just play him because he'll get you more points than Hall right now.
It's sad because like it's nothing against Hall. He's got that talent. It's just it's like a Bijan Robinson effect where they're not working the offense through him.
Yeah.
So in short, I would probably not do that deal right now because you're sending too much value.
Denied.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Just because, like, I mean, I don't know, I like Hall, but yeah, like,
I mean, I really love Hall. I love my Jets. You're welcome. I hope that works out for you. I mean, maybe do a counter offer where you're getting something in return. Like maybe if he has like a Nico Collins, do a Nico and Hall for Pollard Higgins. If he's got like just one of these other pieces that are in a situation that's a little bit unfortunate or hurt. I mean, you need to get more value in return. I'm fine sending Pollard and Higgins. It just where Hall's production is right now, I would ask for a little bit more in return.
Yeah. Dang. The Dallas sack.
Told you this is going to be a really defensive, messy game. It's not going to be very fantasy relevant.
It just started. You got to give it 3 more
Give
minutes.
it till midnight when this game ends.
Yeah. But on that note, man, I think it's been a pretty good episode, bro.
Hell yeah.
Got some amazing questions in. RG Coach.
Thank you, everybody, for your questions, your comments, everything. We're happy to help you. And we love the feedback and the interactions.
George, Houdini, the business circuit. Oh man, so many of you guys. You have
RG
got a lot of engagement tonight. Houdini
Join
was
us
with us for a
on
minute.
Tuesday at 6:30.
Yeah.
Get some more of this info.
You see it right there in the banner. Catch us Tuesday night, 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. So if you're not in the Mountain Standard Time, then it's whatever your time zone is.
If you're me, where I'm at, it's 7:30. If you're on the East Coast, that's 8:30. If you're on the West Coast, it's 5:30.
And if you're in Arizona, it's whatever you feel like doing at the
Yeah,
moment.
I know they don't believe in time.
Do your thing. It's okay. Just join us. But yeah, catch us live on Tuesday. We'll be talking about should you start them, should you set them. We have players coming back from the bye week. All those Lions players, those Eagles players.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Somebody Chargers players,
Titans.
Titans players. And there's one more, right? I think
It was Titans, Eagles, Chargers, Lions.
Okay, so yeah, those guys will be coming back. You have a lot of points coming back, but then you'll have some decisions to make. You probably, put some people down to bring some people in, or you probably, I know I put Jonathan Taylor in my IR. I had Singletary in IR. I'm probably gonna have to pull them out. I'm gonna have to drop some people, but I have to make a decision. I mean, couple teams that have to make a decision too. I mean, New York's gonna have to look at their running back room and see how they want to split time, seeing as how they have decent. A couple teams are looking like that. The Colts, maybe, see how serious it is with Jonathan Taylor. But anyway, we'll touch on that Tuesday. Have your questions, go ahead, send them to us. We got the Facebook group, Shady Sports.
Yeah, if you can't wait until Tuesday night, you want to get that out there in the space, send it on over to the Facebook group. I'm more than happy of answering and interacting off of that and helping you guys out.
Yeah, I didn't even go over there and see if there was anything. Well, I guess the only thing I saw in there was just the group or the question about tonight's game.
Yeah, which is cool. It starts with one, then we can build from there. Get more people interacting and throwing their thoughts and comments and stuff, whatnot in there.
No,
it's a friendly space.
Yep, it is definitely a friendly space, and we appreciate you guys, joining us. And as always, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Check us out, Shady Sports. If you don't follow Shady Sports, it's www.shadysportsnetwork.com or on Facebook under Shady Sports Network, Instagram, Twitch, all of the social medias. And, it's more than just NFL, man. We got football, or we got basketball season starting up. I know the Nuggets had a preseason game this morning. I started watching. I got to see the score on that. But we got basketball starting up. We got other sports. We got the arena leagues, the other football leagues starting up, their leagues as well. It's year-round football here on Shady Sports Network. So if you like sports, we got you for sure. And then, of course, you got, us, me, Justin, and then, when Seany, whenever he's here with us, whoever else wants to come in and join us, just come in and talking football. Just for the love of the game. Like we always say, we love the game and we just love to talk about it. So come join us. And like tonight, oh man, it was super fun just going through and having all this engagement. I think it really moves it along, and it just makes everything a little bit more exciting and entertaining. I mean, we're all playing we're playing fantasy football in different leagues, but it's still like the same thing. So we're all looking at the same thing, getting the same points, and trying to put our teams together with one goal, trying to win the league. Especially since we spend money on it, right? It's not like betting on the teams, but it is in a way.
Yeah.
You're betting on your team to do good. So we want to help you put together the best team that you can put together. So feel free to reach out to us, whether it be in the group or in the chat, or send us a message. We got our social media handles up under our names. You can catch Justin over on Discord and Sleeper, and then you can find me on Sleeper, on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, all under 303 bandwagon or Cedric Green. So feel free to reach out. We're always happy to conversate and talk sports. And I mean, that's don't forget to like, subscribe, and please share. It always helps. Is there anything you got, Justin?
No, I think you wrapped it up beautifully. I'm looking forward to hearing from all you guys and seeing you on Tuesday night.
Yeah, we'll have Justin's team of the week as well too on Tuesday night, and his IDP player of the week. So I did post your team of the week from this week in the group. So
good, nice, perfect.
Yeah, so you guys can go there and you can see that, and we can see how that played out. I'll post some points up in the group as well. So we'll go from there. I mean, if nothing else, I guess peace.
Good night, everybody. Good luck in your matchup.
We got a comment. We'll get it before we go. We got your questions, guys. We got to trade questions.
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah.
Did he trade Neighbors for Kyron Williams and Chris Godwin? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Well,
let's keep it spicy. Yeah, let's do that trade. Let's keep it spicy.
Neighbors is a beast right now.
I know.
Granted,
I
he's
know.
hurt. When he comes back, he's gonna be a beast. But Kyron Williams looked really good tonight.
Chris Godwin has held his own this season, though, and Kyron Williams is a dog. Mm-hmm. So depending on your depth, like we said with Houdini earlier, if you have good depth, I'd be cool taking this deal. Mm-hmm. If you're kind of shaky and Neighbors is like your top dog, top performer, I'd probably be like, I'm going to hold on to Neighbors here. But just looking at it right now, in my mindset where I'm at, I think I would do this deal just because I like the idea of getting 2 players for one, because the probability of having 2 people go off on a game, because Chris Godwin has done it this season already. He's had a couple really big games, and Kyron Williams is like the steady Eddie in the backfield there for the Rams. And, Neighbors is having a great start this season. Unfortunately, he was hurt, but like to have 2 people doing about the same similar production as one person can do, that helps you a lot going through the rest of the year too, as far as bye week fill-ins, any injuries that come up, because like we've already experienced this week, Neighbors going down, and I got to have somebody else like a Wandale or a Slayton or somebody else step up in that spot. Whereas if you got an injury between Godwin and Williams, you got insurance because you got 2 players out of the deal than one.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not that I don't believe in Neighbors. It's just I like the value that you're getting, and spice it up, man. If you got depth.
All right. Last one, and then I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said, would you trade Godwin and Swift for Marvin Harrison Jr.? Probably not. I would keep Godwin and Swift
because
I feel like you said before. I mean, I feel like with Godwin, you're gonna get decent points from him for sure. Godwin is always gonna eat. It feels like he's gonna get his. And Swift, man, like people are just sleeping.
He's coming alive.
He's coming alive. And when he comes alive, he's definitely one of the big dogs in the league when it comes to the running back room. So I have no reservations in starting Swift anytime I have him. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been a bit hit or miss so far. You know what I mean? Like, he's Kyler Murray's still trying to find his groove with Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, not saying he can't go off. Which he does, but I mean,
he's just having a harder path to doing that so far this year than these 2 other guys. So I would say in redraft, I would keep Neighbors and not do that last deal. And I would absolutely go for this deal for Marvin Harrison Jr. In a redraft, I would probably do the sending Neighbors for Godwin and Kyron. And in redraft, I would do this trade. I wouldn't do this trade for Godwin and Swift for Marvin Harrison Jr. because we've seen more consistent production out of Godwin and Swift in comparison to Marvin Harrison Jr. So Dynasty, holding Harrison Jr. and keeping Neighbors, and redraft, keeping Godwin and Swift and going for Kyron and Godwin.
Yep. I'm with that. That makes all the sense. Cool. Well, shoot, man. Thank you guys for just chiming in. Jay Smells, Jay Hang 20.
Everybody, all you guys, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for chiming in. We appreciate it. Don't forget.
And if you like being here live, come join us in the Facebook group. Keep this thing going.
Come over to the Facebook group. We'll chat in there. We can, we'll gladly answer all your questions in there. So, here I will. Let me see. I got a banner for the Facebook.
And
group.
If you really enjoy us, you're liking what you're getting, you're liking all this content, you're more than welcome. If you feel like taking on the challenge, join the Roundtable Fantasy Football League we're trying to get going for the show. We're more than happy to have you.
Yeah, we can send you the link. We're trying to set up a league for the Sleeper app, get it going for next season. And then we get everybody in there and we can build it up. And then that next season, we can get it kicked off and go from there. So, let us know. We're all about this fantasy football stuff. Here,
We know you're going to have a tough challenge here going up against Ced. With me, it's more like almost a free win. But, hey, things can change in a season. So,
I just like playing. I just wake up and whatever. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining us, and we hope you guys have a great night. We'll catch you. Join us Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll be back.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. changer.